Elevate your hatching egg shipping business with Beyond the Egg. Discover the art of premium packaging, master the details of shipping, and create an unforgettable experience for your customers. Enhance your reputation, build lasting trust, and set your business apart as the gold standard. Visit BeyondTheEgg.com to begin your journey to excellence.
Hello and welcome. We are back with a fairly new nerd. We have Brittany from Knight's Poultry and Lab, and they do some pretty cool stuff over there. She was telling us about it before we started recording. And we've gotten a lot of questions from our other nerds on social media about this type of testing. So Jennifer was like, hey, let's just talk to the lady herself and see what she says. So here we are. So Brittany, if you will, tell us a little bit about you and your farm.
So my name is Brittany. I'm with Knight's Poultry and Lab. We are a little chicken farm, I guess you would say. It's more like a hobby here in Socher, Mississippi. Silkies is our main focus. We kind of had Cochins for a while and Americanas, I know, but then we got our first Silkie and oh my gosh, I became obsessed. So it's like Pokemon, you got to collect like all the colors, all of the things. It's sad. It's sad, but they're amazing and they're very, very easily to get attached to, and then you want them all. So that's our chickens. That's the story on how much chickens was. And with them, that's how I actually got into DNA testing, because with the Silkies, it takes so long for you to actually be able to tell whether you even have a pullet or a cockerel. That's like you're months down the road. So I was like, I'll just learn to do this for myself. And that's how I got into it.
Do you have to go to school to do it?
No, you don't. It is a lot. Okay, so my journey is a little bit different. Have you noticed there's so many different farms popping up that are doing the lab testing now? I'm not sure if you noticed it, but in the Silkie community, there are tons of farms that are popping up doing the same thing that I do, which it's fairly easy to do if you can devote the time and a little bit of extra play money that you can actually set aside to put into it, because it's a little bit costly when you're first starting up, but it's not terrible. So
wait, you have play money and you have chickens?
I know, it's really, my husband spoils me a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where that is. Yeah. My journey is a little bit different getting into it than most of the people that are doing their labs, because there is a biologist in California that actually teaches the classes now. I started before I had found her, so I had to do a bunch of trial and error and teach myself, I guess, for the most part. And it's doable. Everything's on Google. You could figure it all out if you put enough time and effort. It's like anything. You could teach yourself anything, especially with YouTube. So I pretty much had the basics down, and then I found Ari with Chick Check. She's the biologist out in California that does the classes for anybody that's interested. I found her, and we just hit it off. Two nerds, I guess you would say, nerding out over chicken science.
You better be careful. You might wind up with a podcast.
We left. She was like, it's so weird, because she was like, we should do a podcast. I was like, I don't know. I'm pretty nervous when it comes to talking to people. And then Jennifer reaches out like literally 5 days later. I message her. I'm like, I just talked to Jennifer and I think I'm going to do a podcast. Where are you? I told you people wanted to know.
They do. People don't know. So Carey and I have regular old chickens that don't need all this fancy stuff.
We even have DNA testing for regular old chickens too. We have the recessive white test. We have a bunch of other tests coming out. It's not, a lot of people do focus it more on Silkies because there's so much, I don't know, so much into Silkies, like so much involved in Silkies. But we have wonderful.
We'll start rising on the Silkies now.
That's a whole new ball game right there, all on its own. The Silkie world is, I tell you.
Yes.
But we have other tests that, like the Americana people, Ermines. I get a lot of test requests from Ermines for the recessive white and stuff like that. So we have other tests. It's not just the DNA sexing. Call ducks. We do a lot of call ducks because I'm assuming, I don't know ducks. But from what I'm hearing from the breeders, they're so small when they're first hatched, you can't look at them and do whatever they do to see the check the sex because they're so small, they'll injure them. So they just send in a tiny little blood sample. And then they get their results like same day.
Okay, so let's back up just a minute. So you're self-taught and then you got your own equipment. What all do you need in order to do this?
So
You don't have to give all your secrets.
I'm self-taught up to a certain point. I do want to clarify that I did go through a chick check with Ari and do the final touches with her. But so, yeah, I do want to give her credit where it's due. But as far as what you need to do it, your equipment wise, there's a thermocycler that you'll have to have, which is this machine right here. And then you need your electro tank, which is right back there. But basically it just holds a buffer and it puts the electricity through a gel that we create and it pulls the DNA to split out the different bands to show different results. I wish I would have had a gel here for y'all to see. I know, I'm so sorry. I don't we can but if you're not in and no, yeah, okay. Let me break it down. Listen. Yeah. So you take the sample, right? Yeah. And you're gonna put it in a buffer that protects the DNA. And then through a machine with a different primer that targets the certain portions of the DNA that we need, it duplicates and replicates it a bunch to where takes that teeny tiny sample and makes it to where it's visible, but it makes it larger. And then you add a dye to it. And then you put it through a gel with electricity, which is going to pull the strands, the different sized DNA strands, to where we can read that, if that makes any more sense.
A little bit.
A little bit.
And then you look at it.
And then look at it with a
yeah,
and then you just turn on the blue light, and then you can actually see the way the results are showing up. It'll show up different bands, and the different number of bands means different things with different tests. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you really are a nerd.
That makes a lot. And everybody's, I bet that's, I think, yeah.
That's straight up CSI Miami lab stuff right there.
And like, everybody's, I bet that's so, put up a camera. I'm like, if I put up a camera, literally all you're going to see is me with a pipette going. Like back and forth in the light. It's not really that interesting.
Now look, what you should do is when you do a bunch of those, shoot the video, and then when you put it in your machine and it does whatever, shoot some video of that and stick it on TikTok. People will probably watch it like crazy just because.
And I'm just like, to me, because I do it like 6 days a week, all day long, sometimes till midnight. Like, to me, I'm doing the same thing. It's like, I don't see what's like interesting about it. Y'all would get so bored.
Look, you need to put like a white coat on, hat, and big glasses.
Like,
make it
have it embroidered like you have your shirt. And then you could do that and video it. When you on your order form, you could have them like check here if you want to see your order on TikTok.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you right now, some Silkie folks will pay for that.
You probably would. I haven't even thought about that. Like the new subscription stuff that you can do on Facebook. I say new again.
Hey, new to you, whatever.
So fast. Like I know nothing about all the Facebook stuff, but it's growing.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah, we're not going to be any help for that at all. So yeah, we can't help you with that. Is this lab? I'm assuming you have a lab or just a room, or
right now we're in just a room. We have a lab. We're still going through zoning and fighting zoning and coding and everything to get moved into our permanent building. So right now we are just in a room waiting for county to clear us.
Oh, won't then.
We are months in. I'm telling you, I'm ready.
Bump that. Just keep being a rebel.
Yeah, it is. It's a headache. It's a headache for sure.
So what kind of tests do you do? I'm trying to visualize why somebody would need it. So you've got the jumping.
Yep. Got the sexing. That's, like I said, for pretty much anything we can sex on that. But then we have like recessive white. We have blue egg gene. I did catch your podcast. I listened to the one that y'all had. That was pretty cool. But yeah, we can test for your blue egg to see whether you have 1 gene, 2 genes, no genes. So that's pretty cool. A lot of people, with Easter eggers send in for that, because with the blue egg gene test, if you're wanting, okay, say you have Easter, I know that y'all talked about this, how some of them could hatch not even being able to lay a blue egg or a colored egg, period. They'll have brown eggs because they have no genes in there. So instead of raising that chick up all the way through and feeding it and raising it and months down the line until you finally get a colored egg or get an egg, period, and then it's 10 or whatever, we could tell you the day it hatched. So you're not having to wait through that long time span and raise them up. So that's one of our tests. Another one of our tests that we're actually working on, it's so competitive. There's a bunch of tests and then it's really competitive in a weird way with all the labs. That's really weird to me. Everybody tries to keep their tests that they have coming out all hushed. But one of them that we do have coming, or that we're planning to work on, is the blue egg in the quail, the celadon. That way that people can see that before, and it helps breeding programs. But stuff like that. We have chocolate test that is almost verified, mottled. So where we can see if you're carrying a mottled gene, a chocolate gene, in case you have a split where you have a black bird and we need to know if it carries chocolate or whatever. Bunch of different tests. It's really cool. It's really neat the way scientists, I don't classify myself that way, but the way they pinpointed all of these genes to be able to test for, it's so cool. It really is. And then it just helps breeders to where instead of having to go through the process of breeding months and months, generations down to see what they're producing, we can tell you the day it hatches.
Can you how big it's going to be and if it'll win a show later?
I wish. That would be really cool. Yeah, awesome. But unfortunately, no, that you're going to have to rate them all up. Pick your unicorn.
Okay, so you said Silkie people are probably a majority of your clientele.
I would say that for our sexing, that and the Indio Gigante, the tall ones.
That's it, Indio.
I get a lot of those as well for sexing. And then emu. I get a lot of emu, which, you can't tell on them for a long time, like a year or better.
And you said the call ducks.
Yeah, we could do any type of duck, any type of geese, turkeys, quail, peacocks. Trying to think what all we can do. Pretty much any bird, other than we're working on rhea. We can't do rhea yet. We're working on those, which are rhytites, but pretty much any chicken, any type of duck, goose, turkey, emu, poultry, any type of poultry. Yeah.
With impatient owners, huh?
We'll be right back.
Looking to rock some seriously comfy gear? If you love chickens and you're all about that fun style, then Chicken Box has got the perfect t-shirts for you. From quirky designs to classic looks, their shirts are as comfy as us chicken tenders deserve. They even have a subscription service so your coop doesn't get bored. Head over to PoultryNerdsPodcast.com and click on Chicken Box to get your comfy shirts and support the podcast.
You need to know if your little Q-tip head's going to be a boy or a girl.
Okay, so in a lot of people's defense, one reason that we get so many on the sexing test is a lot of people, and why a lot of them are Silkies, is because a lot of Silkie owners live in city limits. They're not allowed to have roosters, or they'll have HOAs. They'll live in HOAs, and they can't have roosters, and they don't want to get attached because a lot of people get really attached to their chickens. Well, when you go from, we were raised with chickens and chickens were just chickens. You know what I mean? There wasn't that big attachment that there is, that I've come to find out now. And don't get me wrong, I love my birds, but nowadays there's a lot of pet owners that are seriously attached to their chickens. And that all for them. I get that 100%. So they don't want to get attached to their birds before they find out it's a rooster later on and have to get rid of it, essentially. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just poking.
We find
like this day,
to poke.
it's fun to poke at them. But this day and age, if you live in a city and you have a Silkie that you love, things identify differently nowadays.
That is true. Although I don't think that would hold up to the HOA. I hear they could be quite sticklers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then it just needs to become your emotional support animal.
They need to start looking into that. I agree.
I bet somebody's done it.
So walk us through if I wanted to, I don't know, check for sexing and the blue egg gene. How do I do it? Go to your website and do what?
So you'd go to the website and you would create an account first and foremost, and then you would go in to request tests. Right now, you would have, the way that the website is set up, you'd have to place it in 2 different orders, but you can send the same sample. So like one sample, I can run multiple tests on if you wanted multiple. But you would go in, select the test that you want, the number of tests that you need, submit that and pay for your order. At that point, then I accept your order and you're then ready to collect your samples, which is a super easy process. I know a lot of people, especially new to chicken owners, like the new chicken owners, they don't like to collect blood samples, but it really is super simple. It's as easy as clipping a toenail back just a little bit and getting a piece of a coffee filter is what we actually prefer, our collection method, a coffee filter. Dab the blood at the end of the toe to the coffee filter and put it in a Ziploc bag, label it, and send it to us in regular mail. We do suggest y'all getting a tracking number because the way the mail has been lately, that way they can see when they arrive, when their samples get here.
Can it be too old or too hot or too cold or?
I would say as long as it's on the coffee filter, you have at least several weeks to get in case it's lost in the mail. I've had some lost in the mail for 2 weeks and they still are perfectly fine. There's not really a rush on that. If you send the blood in a blood tube, in a PCR tube, then it spoils. If it gets too hot, I don't know about getting too cold. That wouldn't be an issue. That would probably just preserve it a little bit better. But yeah, in the blood tubes, when people do blood, it can get too hot and it'll spoil. Yeah.
How interesting. A coffee filter. Bleached, unbleached, does it matter?
Does not matter. I'm trying to see if I have a sample here of somebody's to show you. So this is like an order that somebody sent in with their little samples, and see, it's just a coffee filter with a dab of blood. And that is like way more blood than we even need. We literally only need the tiniest little dab. People don't understand how little we actually need.
Fill 1 or 2 drops.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little bitty amount. Yeah. Like this is a good example of how much we need actually. And this we've already pulled a sample from, but teeny, yeah, throwing it up there. Little bitty drop, not of blood.
I mean, that essentially looks like you take a Sharpie and dab it onto a coffee filter.
Exactly.
For the people out in radio land listening.
Yep.
We might have to break our podcast only rules and show some pictures of this. Carrie's been on me for a while now, and I just don't want to comb my hair.
That's another good thing about basically working for myself at home. Like sweats and a t-shirt. Me, I'm good. I can just sweats and t-shirt it.
Yep, I get it. So just ballpark how much do these tests typically run?
Our regular sexing is $8. For emu, it's $12. And then our other test, recessive white, is $12 as well. And then the blue egg is $14. But all of the others, we also have a lavender. All the others will be $15 each when they come out for just the traits. We try to keep it super affordable for everybody.
That's cheaper than feeding a bird out.
Yeah.
Figuring it out. And
yeah. Super quick. When you mail your samples, the longest part of the whole process is the mail getting me the samples. Once we get the samples here in the lab, we work to get results out the same night. So they arrive to me, the mail runs here at 11 o'clock, and we bust tail and stay up sometimes till midnight submitting the results, but we try our best to get your results in the same day because that's just, I don't know, I don't like waiting. I'm impatient. And I know other people are as well. And it's one thing that makes us stand out because there's so many different labs is our speed of getting the results out. And we really focus a lot on customer service as well, because I don't like to just submit money to somebody and be like, okay, here's my money, I'm done.
So your impatience is your business model.
I guess.
So what she's saying is she can relate to her ideal customer.
Yeah.
So she understands that they're impatient, and she is too. So as soon as it arrives, she's got to get it out.
Yeah.
And y'all listeners out there, we're just poking fun because we have to wait with the breeds we've chosen. We have to wait months and feed them lots of feed and space in order to know if they're worth feeding out.
Look, there's times like I'll do my first cull if I'm culling out of the hatcher. But there's times that birds, I have fed them for 6 months and discovered something that just pops out, and I get so mad at myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, I should have known that. I should have saw that coming months ago.
Same with Silkies. You can, like, as soon as they're hatched, you can look at skin color. You can look at the number of toes, the spacing of toes. But what you can't see until months later is how they hold their wings, whether they're going to be the nice fat type or the little scrawny ones. Like, it's the same in the Silkie world. It's the same.
Yep. Yeah. What about the fibro gene? Is that a new test they're still working on?
That fibro is very complicated. I don't foresee us having it for a while. We are actively trying to get a grasp on it, but that fibro test takes so many different genes and different things into account that it's a serious test. It's going to be hecka complicated. It's a hard one.
Oh, okay.
That one's difficult.
Huh. Those multi-polygenic traits are, wait, tell everybody where they can find you and all that good stuff.
We obviously have our page on Facebook, Knights Poultry and Lab LLC, but we also have a website, which is www.knightspoultryandlab.com.
Nice. That's where I found you, was on Facebook.
Yeah. Facebook our page is growing. Like, it's really blowing my mind. When we first started, I was just doing it for myself, and then I reached out to locals, and I was like, I guess I'm already doing it for locals. I might as well offer it to everybody. And when I started putting it out on Facebook, holy bananas, we grew so fast. It was like we went from I would say probably somewhere around 700 followers. And then now it's over 4,000 followers in 4 months. It's crazy.
Okay, so if y'all haven't noticed, she has a tiny bit of an accent. She's a Southern gal. And so we were talking before we hit record about hurricanes. What do you do with your Silkies when a hurricane is coming?
You hunker them down. That's pretty much all you can do. Honestly, if you have to evacuate, we're not so close to the coast to where we have to deal with the surge, which is the number one problem with hurricanes is the surge. So we're not so close that the surge has never made it up to us. But as far as like the bad weather and stuff like that, all you can do is hunker them babies down and pray for them.
You don't bring them inside and just line them up.
I love chickens. I do. I love chickens as much as everybody, but
not bringing them in, huh?
Have to be bad. I'll put them in my garage. It's gonna have to be bad for them things to come in my house. I got a bunch of chickens.
She's gonna get her favorite breeder pairs.
Oh, absolutely.
She go get a couple of those
Favorites.
You know, they're coming on to the ark. The rest of them,
thankfully, we've never had
float or swim, baby.
Yeah. Pretty much. I don't want to say favorites because you can't say favorite because as soon as you say favorites, something happens to them. The not favorites, those can come in.
Okay, so what's your favorite color?
Blue, cream, and black, probably. I would say those are my two favorite colors if I had to choose. Yeah. The
Is
black.
Purple Silkie.
Lavenders, yeah, we got lavender.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But is it like lavender or is it more
It's just
purple?
like lavender, self-blue like everything else. It's not purple.
No.
Now, the blue creams do have a purple hue. Pretty. Yeah, that'd probably be your closest to having a purple.
Man, I bet I could find a mineral that would bring that out.
I bet.
mix it in with their feed and make it happen.
Yeah. You could probably, I don't know. I'm sure they have pet safe dye that you could just get a white one. And
That would be too extremist.
We appreciate you coming on and talking about it. It's not something we need, and it never really occurred to me until I came across your Facebook page.
sure, I totally appreciate y'all. You have no idea. I was super nervous, but it's been pretty fun.
Yeah, we try to be fun.
Yeah. Thank you. Yep.
Thank
y'all.
you. Thank you for joining us this week. Before you go, be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you can receive new episodes right when they are released. And they're released every week. Feel free to email us at poultrynerds@gmail.com to share your thoughts about the show. Until next time, Poultry Pals, keep clucking, keep learning, and keep it exciting. This is Carey signing off from Poultry Nerds. Feathers up, everyone.